Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Irfan Hilman bin AZIZ. My matrix number is 2213023887. Today I would like to demo my lab 3, which is about server and client. And I will start explaining first about my server coding. So the first one is we need to import these two classes, which is java.net.star and also java.io.star, which are used in the coding. For java.net.star is for the networking connection, while the java.io.star is for input and output. Then we must declare our class, which is my server. Then this is the basic one, which we need to declare public static void main string, etc, etc. Then for server, we need to create one new object, which is server socket ss equals to new server socket 2222. So what does this do actually is that we created a new object for server at port 2222. Then after we created the object for server, we do a simple test, which is system.out.println server started, waiting for a client. Then after if we run, then this server will wait until a client tries to connect to the port, which is 2222. Then for this line, number 10, socket s equals to ss.accept, which is if there is attempts from client to connect to the port at 2222, it will accept the connection and the connection is established, and we can check it by system.out.println client connected. Then for data input stream and data output stream, we try to get the input from the client, and as well as we want to give the response back to them. At line 17, using data input stream function, we can read the input sent by the client towards the server, and if it's not equal to stop, the system will print out the message that client sent, and the message is read in UTF-8 format. Then afterwards, at line number 19, the server can reply towards the request from the client, and the out, which is data output stream right here, will read what's the message replied by the server towards the client. And for now line number 21, the reply is immediately sent to the client from the server, so that there will be no deadlock happening. Then afterwards, after this process is finished, until the client says stop, we will close each of the function we created before, which is dir.close. We close the data input stream, we close the socket, we close the server socket, and also we flush out the out just now. Then afterwards, the system will say that the system from my server will say that the server is already closed by the client. So this one is for server part. For now, I will explain about my client coding. So the first few codings actually are the same as my server coding and serve the same purposes. Then we will go towards the 8th line in this coding, which is socket s equals to new socket localhost 2222, which actually created a new an object for the client to connect towards the server at port 2222. When the connection is established, the system or the console will print out client connected to the server. Then data input stream and also data output stream serve the same purposes, which it will get input from the server and also will give the response or will give the request towards the server. Then for while code right here, if the client didn't put input stop, then the program will run, and the system will read what is written from the client using this method right here. Then afterwards it will give the output to the server using data output stream function with flash, where it immediately sends the data or the request from the client. Then right here, if the if the server responds towards the request, then it will read using data input stream function and print out what the server says using system.out.println server says plus received. So what have been answered by the server will be pop up ahead here, and if the client decided to close the connection, it can simply, or he and she can simply write stop. Then the system will close, and the function will close, the server will close, and the console will pop up client closed. So right now we will demonstrate how it works. So we need to run the my server code first. Then it says server started, waiting for a client. Then we will run my client code. So if we go, or if it's read right here, it says the client connected to the server, indicating that the client and the server already have connection. And also at the server we can see that it is written that the client connected. So right now the client can enter the message he wanted. Let's say I say I want an ice cream, for example. Then the output now will be written towards the console of the server. So the client says I want an ice cream, so the server can reply suitable towards the request. So let's say I say we don't have an ice cream. So after we press enter, the input from the server will be sent towards the client. So we can see that these two coding are connected and reply towards each other based on the request, just how server and client actually functioning in the real world. Then if you want to stop this program properly, the client, if he is satisfied with the service and wanted to stop it, he can just simply say stop. Then as we can see, the message pop up saying that the client closed, and for my client, and for my server it says server closed, meaning that both connections are being terminated as it is requested from the client. Okay, that's all for me for this lab 3. See you next time on lab 4.